Good morning, everyone. A quick update. Our little Tundra has been neutered. And he's in the recovery phase. So he's got about 3 more days to go of limited activities. And as you can see, he is on a leash. He is tied. He does very well with us tethering him where we're working, and we're getting ready to do some projects here. We already did 1 project this morning, and we're getting ready to do a second. So let me take you around and show you what we're doing. We have the well running right now. As you can see, we got a generator wired into it. And what we did is we watered the garden really well. Unfortunately, or I should say fortunately, Hurricane Dorian affected us not at all. We got no wind, no rain, only absolutely beautiful, clear, lower humidity days is about the only thing we noticed when Hurricane Dorian went over. So this morning we spent the morning running we have almost no water from rain catch, so we're topping our system off with the well. And while we were purging the water to get the cleanest water possible, I used all that water and I watered the garden heavily. So the garden is ready to be planted with more stuff. And I also did a mix. Well, let's go look at it. Hold on. I got the puppy with me, so you'll see he's with me. Yes, he beats up on the cats. Come on, Tundra, that's not allowed. You know better. He's still... Oh, did I step on you? I'm sorry. Pay attention. I stepped on his little toopies. And I got my perlite, bone meal, and I put a whole package of peat moss in here, and I stirred it into the compost that was already in, and I just watered it down really heavily. So we're getting ready to hopefully get some carrots in here within the next day or so. Everything else is pretty much where it was on the last video. This guy's ears keep folding up. I keep folding them down. He's a busy boy, guys. I can't even tell you how busy he keeps me. I'm tired at the end of the day. So some of the other things we did get our rain gutters repaired. As you can see, that's repaired. And we did that before the hurricane came through the general area. It didn't hit us, but it did come through about 100 to 200 miles away from us. So we wanted to make sure we were set up for rain catch if we got any water, which we didn't. Now, the next thing we did this morning, we have had this big water trough, and we cleaned it really good, but we wanted to sanitize it, solar sanitizing, and we left it sit out in the sun for a long time. And now, as you can see, it's in for the girls, and the girls are actually using it already. So that's exciting. Instead of all these buckets, we now have a big trough, so as the herd grows, they got plenty of water. And it's been so hot, guys, they need more water. It's just that simple. Now, our next project we're working on, and we are introducing Tundra slowly to the goats. He does go in the goat pen on a lead, and so far that's going fairly well. And Jim, you got a bunch of little company over there.
Yeah, they're curious about what I'm doing.
We did finally remember to buy the tarp we needed. So we do have the tarp. I'm going to tie Tundra here because we don't want him against the electric fence. So we're going to tie him right here on the fence. Can you let me in so I don't get zapped?
No.
Can I unhook the power?
No.
Why not?
Are you bringing him in?
No.
Hi. You need to be able to check the water. So.
Okay, so you don't want me in here? How am I going to help?
Yeah.
All right, anyway, we got a tarp that we could live with. And what we noticed is this blue tarp, you could see it from way up the driveway. We didn't like that, so we bought a camouflage tarp. So the first thing, this is the back of the shelter. We're putting the pipe insulation, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's foam insulation.
It's foam insulation, and we're putting it over the wire so the wire does not tear holes in the tarp, because on the back side here, the tarp will overlap that cattle panel. So that's what we're doing there. And as you can see, the shelter is held up wonderful. And I think the key to this was One, the cattle panels are put to the inside of the wood frame, which helps support the upright from the bottom. And then these side supports, which can down the road be made into doors if this ever gets made into a greenhouse. But right now it's working great for these boys. It's been so hot, they're not even sleeping in the shelter at night. This is where they're sleeping. See how they've stirred up the stand? That's where they've been sleeping at night. Look at my little boys. They're doing great, guys. And the nice thing is, Picasso is super gentle with them. He is not, Pilot would have been very aggressive with them, and he has just been a baby doll with them.
No, no.
Girls, girls, girls.
While you're leaving her alone, you had to have to.
There's the girls. They follow us. If we're up here, they're up here. And you see Tundra is quite content. Now, we did find out he is now 13 weeks old. So he was older than what they originally told us. And we got his whole file when we did the final phase of the adoption, which, Nala, stop, you're gonna get me zapped. She's pushing on the gate, which pushes this towards me. He's a big boy. Anyway, but he is 13 weeks old now, and he is, he weighed in at his neuter, which was 7 days ago. He weighed in at 22.2 pounds. And when we got him, he was only 14 pounds. So he's doing really well, gaining and growing. He's getting long and leggy. So he's at that stage of growth, and he loves to run. Oh my gosh, he loves to run. Sadly, my older dogs are really not into the running phase. Now what Jim just did, after he put this pipe insulation on the edge, he wire tied it in place. That way it's not falling off or shifting with wind or whatever. Now he's cutting the next piece, and that will also get wire tied. We found it's a 15 by 11 foot tarp. We could not find a 16 by 11. So this was our only choice, which means on either side, or one side will have a foot or 6 inches off the bottom on each side. So that's something Jim can decide as he puts it up. It's really going to depend, I guess, on which is going to be the easiest for tying it. Because we want to secure all along the bottom, and the front will all be secured with wire ties, and then the back will actually be pulled together as much as we can with like hay ropes. So we'll see. It's going pretty fast, Jim. Yeah. You hadn't noticed? This is pretty much our project for today, other than moving water. I gotta go check my water. I'll be right back. Guys, one of the things with this shelter, it could be literally be made into a mobile pasture system. Just by fencing in these two ends and putting a door on one end, you could literally put wheels on this and move your goats several times a day to fresh grass. And this would ensure that if you have a small herd, you can get them fresh pasture and just rotate them through the pasture throughout the day. Justin Rhodes just had Ben Holler make an amazing mobile sheep pen that's on wheels that he can move, and he's moving it, I believe, 2 to 3 times a day. And he has 2 rams in there, a wether and a ram. And he's moving them daily so that they get fresh grass, but it's only a 16 by 16 structure. And it's absolutely ingenious idea to get a few goats, a few sheep moving throughout the day. I love the idea. So check out, he has a video up on it, so go check out his video on his mobile sheep structure. All right, we're almost done with the insulation. We'll bring you back when we start the tarp. Okay guys, we have the camouflage tarp in position. Jim's securing the front, and when he's all done, I'm gonna go in and walk around and show you how the front's secured. It's just a matter of securing the grommets with wire ties to the cattle panel. It's just that simple. None of this is complicated, and this is so easy to build, and it's a good, safe shelter even for winds. This will hold up to quite a bit of wind, because we can't build anything here that doesn't hold up to tropical storms. So everything we build, we make sure is as solid as we can make it. Okay guys, I'm showing you the front. And you see how the wire ties are wrapped several times and then secured. That'll hopefully help this grommet from being pulled out by rainstorms or windstorms.
Also saves wasting.
And it saves wasting wire ties. We can actually cut that one off and have some length yet left to reuse it. Now on the inside, hi Trident, hi baby, hi baby boy, hi babies, hi baby boys. On the inside, this is the back. You can see the pipe insulation and how it's on there. That one's might need another wire tie, but it's wire tied pretty close together. That was the only one I saw that wasn't, but we got the whole sides done. And this will be the back that will get tied together, probably with hay ropes, because that's what we have. And then the bottom will be open. So again, they can come in one side, go through, and go out the other side. It'll stay very well vented with the heat here in Florida. That's more important than trying to keep them even out of the weather, to be honest with you. Hey, are you eating that? Stop. He's eating that.
Eating what?
The pipe insulation.
Uh-oh.
Trident.
That could be a problem.
Yeah. We'll have to watch that. Curiosity, you know how it is. He's a kid.
Literally.
Yep, we might have to take that bottom layer off, which would really stink, because that's going to protect the tarp for longevity of the tarp life, guys. So maybe just pull this in like this and tie it off. I don't know. Look at him. Look at him. You little bugger. I'm going to eat the tarp, Dad. Look.
Hey, stop it.
Try it in.
All right.
Oh, that's going to be a problem. But, okay.
Please, buddy.
This side is done. And you see the wood structure that supports, it goes up and it supports the cattle panel. This keeps the cattle panel from doing this in winds, or if the goats lean up against the cattle panel. All livestock, guys, will try to rub up against fencing. They break fences doing it, and this just gives it some additional support. So if they're pushing, they're not going to fall over and then have this on top of them. So there's a lot of reasons behind why we built it this way. This structure is being used, this exact same construction, in greenhouses that get snow loads up north. I think it's Texas Prepper 2. This is his design. It's not exactly like his, but it's very, very similar. And we did this because his has held up for years and years. Wind, storms, snow loads, all of it, guys. So why not use it for a goat shelter? And basically the strength of the shelter has proven itself already. So we're going to tie off the back, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Okay guys, I'm going to show you what he did here. These are some of the lower grommets. He's using hay rope to secure them up here, and this will hold the sides in. So if the winds do kick up and the rains are blowing, this will keep the interior of this pretty dry. He's also tying off these corners so the doorway here is nice and open for him. And I'm going to duck out this doorway. And I'm going to show you what he did here. Now we had two options here. This is the flap from the top, okay? And we decided to wire tie in the first set of grommets that match. And we decided to let this overlap to the outside. And the reason for that is when the rain hits it, it'll filter out of the shelter. If we had tucked this in, let me show you here. Just by changing how you have the tarp set, this now will filter into the shelter rainwater. So we didn't want that. So now this could change with wind and stuff. It could reposition itself, but for now, we're going with this and see how it works. And you can see that's a perfect doorway for this size and breed of goats. Heck, if I can get through there, these little ones can. And we're getting ready. We're going to pull Mocha probably tomorrow morning, and we're going to put him in here. So there'll be 4 bucks in here. 2 are for sale. Titan is for sale, and Mocha is for sale. Mocha is not registerable. Titan can be registered as a purebred mini Nubian. So, and Trident, he's also registerable, which we haven't registered him yet. And Picasso is a registered full-blood mini Nubian. And he's our future daddy here. It is mid-September. In about a month and a half, we will be in a major breeding season. He's starting to lose some weight, guys, because of his rut that he's dealing with. Although he's very calm buck in rut, he is definitely in rut because he is peeing on his nose. Look how yellow his nose looks. Look at that yellow nose, stinky boy. And he stinks. He stinks like a buck. And of course, I gave him a hug. It's like, oh, why did I do that? I'm going to stink like a buck all day. These two actually smell a little bucky. Not near as strong as the older boy, but definitely a little bucky. Somebody wants attention. But yep, that's our mobile goat shelter, guys. This would work just about in any climate, because keep in mind, goats are animals that are designed to be outdoors. Now, would I do this in 40 below? Absolutely not. I'm in North Florida, so our coldest temperatures could get down to 18 degrees, and then it only reaches 18 degrees for a very short amount of time early in the morning, like at 6 a.m. So we don't see those temperatures for any length of time, and we don't see them consistently. If we get that once or twice a winter, we're lucky. Our average temperature is going to be in the low 30s on a very cold day in winter for where we're located. So these type of shelters are plenty for goats. But keep in mind, this is just a mobile shelter, because we have all the hard-sided, wood-built, roofed-in shelters for winter and kidding. This would make a great summer kidding stall too, guys. There's so many uses for this. You could make a greenhouse, a chicken coop. This could be your chicken run and just build a hard chicken house on the end of it. There's so many uses for something like this. We love the design. Oops, excuse me. We love the design. We love how it's been working for us. It's given these guys here shelter and enabled them to get out and browse in that heavy browse over there. So they're doing all their foraging and stuff without needing a permanent shelter. So when we move these guys to the next forage lot, then they will have this shelter go with them. So they continue to have something that's, 1, familiar, 2, it definitely protects them. So I hope you like the update on the projects. There's always something going on here. There's always a small project or a big project. We got some solar lights. We're going to try and get those hung. We will see how far we get today. But this is the end of this video. So take care and God bless. He just did something different. What did you do, Jim?
Oh, I just trying something here.
He put a stick.
Trying to put a stick here to keep the water out rather than.
Now it extends that flap that I showed you out, so the water will run off to the sides and won't go into the shelter. So it just gives like a little awning effect. All right, guys, that's it for the update. Someone's getting ready for a nap. Take care and God bless.